Others say boundaries are nothing more than lines in the air. I say they're legal, sacred, and damn well intended to be obeyed. So when the Willowbend Ridge HOA made the decision to disregard property lines, encroach on my property, and plow up some of my pasture to create a so-called community walking path, without asking, they didn't think I'd take it lying down. But what they didn't realize is I retained it all. Records, aerial video taken by drones, GPS data, and a contact in the county assessor's office. When the dust finally settled, the HOA was out $150,000. Their president was sobbing on the courthouse steps, and the entire neighborhood knew precisely what happens when you mess with a rancher's property. Let me take you through it. I purchased my ranch 8 years ago, 37 rolling acres of grassland bordering the rear edge of Willowbend Ridge, a newer suburb of cookie-cutter houses and neatly manicured lawns. They enjoyed their regulations. I enjoyed my elbow room. Across my property and through the subdivision stretched a barbed wire fence that had been up for more than 40 years. Plain as day, surveyed and recorded. The president of the HOA, self-satisfied little dictator Denise Kravitz, had attempted to speak to me once regarding harmonizing the perimeter. I said, "Your perimeter stops at that fence. My property starts on the opposite side. Nothing to harmonize." I believed it ended there. I was mistaken. It began with little things. A handful of footprints beyond the fence. Grass clippings dumped too near. HOA groundskeepers accidentally spraying weed killer over the line. Cautioned them once. Documented it all. Even took drone shots. Yet I did not make a lot of noise. And then I returned from a 4-day beef expo in Amarillo and noticed the back acre of my pasture torn open with a rented bobcat and new gravel laid down for what appeared to be a trail. I was shocked. A full quarter-mile path had been carved into my property, winding from the HOA's fence line into my pasture, circling near a pond I dug myself, and stopping at a wooden bench they'd installed like they owned the land. No call. No letter. No courtesy knock. Just fresh tracks, PVC trail markers, and an HOA sign that read Willowbend Ridge Nature Walk, residents only. I didn't run screaming. I didn't even call them first. I did what ranchers do. I documented everything. I got aerial shots using my drone, produced my deed and the most recent county GIS maps, called my down-the-road neighbor who previously worked for county planning. We cross-referenced it all. And what do you know? The HOA's trail did not just border my property. It encroached 163 feet onto it. I sent Denise Kravitz an email with a clear message. Your HOA has illegally trespassed and built on private property. You have 72 hours to take down all materials and restore the land. After that, I seek damages through the county and courts. She answered that land is part of a disputed easement. Our landscape committee had every right. Do not trespass on HOA property or you will face civil repercussions. She wanted to play illegal chicken? Okay, buckle up. My friend from county planning saved the day. As it turned out, the HOA had filed no permits for trail building, no environmental impact study, no requests for right-of-way, no utilities indicated, and no easement recorded. The punchline? They had disturbed soil near a seasonal drainage basin, something that must be approved under local floodplain management regulations. I submitted a formal complaint to the County Code Enforcement Division. Included were drone photographs, maps, dated screenshots of HOA signage, and a copy of their newsletter boasting of the new trail project this spring. A week later, the county arrived on the scene with inspectors. You had to see Denise's face when 3 county trucks pulled up with clipboards and measuring wheels. The final report was unflinching. Unpermitted construction on private property. Trespass violation. Unpermitted disturbance of land in a flood area. Environmental risk to conserved runoff basin. Civil destruction of county property. The county assessed the HOA a $150,000 administrative penalty and commanded complete removal and restoration of my land at their cost. Denise shifted from smug to screaming, called it a misunderstanding, attempted to blame it on the trail contractor, said I had verbally approved it, which I hadn't. I even had security cam evidence from the gate to show I was not home at the time of the trail construction. The fine was out before the HOA was even in panic mode. Their insurance company wouldn't pay for the damages, having broken permitting laws. Homeowners appeared furious at the next board meeting, demanding to know what happened and voting off 3 members, Denise among them. Then the icing on the cake. A civil suit. My lawyer sued for trespass, property damage, and restoration costs. We settled out of court for another $65,000, which I spent to reseed the destroyed pasture and strengthen the boundary with new fencing and trail cameras. But I didn't leave it there. With my new money, I installed a big metal sign on the fence line, pointed directly at their subdivision. It says, "Private ranch land. Trespassers will be prosecuted." Yes, again. Some of the people in the neighborhood came over and apologized discreetly, said they never knew the HOA had gotten so out of hand like that. Some even began a petition to abolish the HOA altogether. Denise? I think I heard she went to Arizona. Most likely began managing some other HOA. God protect them. Look, I'm not anti-community. I'm not even anti-HOA when they're actually there to serve a purpose. But when a group of self-righteous busybodies believe that they can ride roughshod over someone's land rights simply because they have a name badge and a clipboard, they discover real fast out here that land is something. Respect it or pay the price. So the next time someone in an HOA tells you that they have a community project that just so happens to straddle your fence line, check your boundaries. Literally. Because that walking trail could just walk them right into a six-figure mistake? If you liked this tale of justice served up with a side of property law, hit that like button. Subscribe for more outrageous HOA takedowns, landowner payback, and real entitled individual stories. And leave a comment below. Have you ever experienced an HOA that went too far? We want to hear your war stories. This is Ranch Justice. Until next time.